welcome back to My Trick Media. Andor.
That was the start you came up with?
Yep.
Yes.
Andor.
So, episodes 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, I don't know what you've seen. I've seen some, like, controversialness of the season.
I haven't seen very much at all. It's been kind of quiet. It's been a lot quieter than I thought it was going to be.
I think that might also be because the show is quiet.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on.
We already talked about in the first 3 episodes where we felt like it still kind of went nowhere, and then we jump a whole year, and it still feels like it went nowhere. It feels like it took a step back, even though it definitely didn't. But like, I don't know if they're just like, if they're expecting us to just fill in gaps ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel watching this so far.
And Star Wars fans are notorious for not being able to do that. And
Right, but like,
and I say that not being rude, but like that's just kind of how things have been. And when we don't fill gaps, I feel like they come out with something obviously years later that does fill in gaps, but that's not going to happen. Like, this is what this is.
well, I just feel like, all right, we're leading up to like the events right before Rogue One, and we're jumping years to do it.
Yeah, and now that you say that, so the idea of Rogue One, right? I guess I'm not thinking enough about it, and I haven't looked anything up because I've been trying to figure it out on my own. What does this planet with the spider silk have to do with anything?
What does any of this have to do with dude? Are we watching Andor, or are we watching another show? Because Andor's never on the screen, never.
He's not in a lot of it.
No, not at all.
And, like, they finally connected his story with the spider planet, Gorman, I think the name of it is.
Yeah.
And, like, I really was hoping that the 2 Imperial people were not going to be in this season that much, and they're in the season a lot. They're the point of the season.
The only, like, not even going to lie, like, I feel like I've only liked Andor, including season 1, when Andor's on the screen. And
I like Bix.
And
I like Cassian. I like Luthen,
when
too.
Bix is on the screen, a lot of the time Andor's on the screen.
But
I don't know. I just feel like...
I know what you mean. I like when Luthen's on the screen. I like when Cassian's on the screen. And I honestly like the stuff with Mon Mothma. But I think it's just because I know who that character is, so I care about what she's doing. But these Imperial agents I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
I get the whole thing with Saul Guerrero. We have to connect his story.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of didn't care about his character. And, like... So this is where it come down to. I'm gonna bring him up because he's just that prevalent in the Star Wars community. Star Wars Theory stopped watching the show as of right now, according to his YouTube, and it's because the fans of Andor they're Star Wars fans. Let's be real. That's how Star Wars fans are. But yeah, I just don't understand why we're making a show that is so like, imagine if Star Wars was in our world, when the whole point is to not be in this world.
Yeah.
Like like, she's taking melatonin drugs to try to
that's
stay.
not melatonin.
Okay, but in her idea, she's using it as melatonin. It's not. I get that.
Yeah.
But she's taking drugs to fall asleep. They're doing this insurgent thing, and like they shot a main character for no reason at the end of the last episode.
The only thing I really cared about in these 3 episodes was Bix like getting her revenge on the other guy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. When that was happening, I didn't even know if that was actually happening or she was dreaming.
I thought it was fake until I saw Cassian.
Yeah, and then like the very last thing we see is the blow up scene, and I'm like, oh, we're finally getting somewhere. See you next week.
Yeah.
I was like, thanks.
That was the only like thing I cared about.
Yeah, and I know there's going to be other people. I don't like getting into intricate parts of I want to just talk about the Star Wars part, but there's something that happened in one of these 3 episodes that I know is going to be a conversation in the Star Wars community between 2 characters. One of them may or may have not just died. I have a feeling people are going to be talking about that a lot. I know it was a conversation when episode 9 came out, and there was a similar scene. But yeah, like you said, like I feel like a third of every episode I care about, because a third of it is the splits between Cassian Luthen and Mon Mothma, and then the other 2/3 of it, a third of it is about the Empire, and then the other third of it is whoever the fuck we're talking about. Also, that reminded me, they recasted Bail Organa.
Yeah, I saw him and I was like,
They didn't need to. He's alive, isn't he?
As far as I'm aware.
He would be old as shit. So why would you recast him? That makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
That would be like if they made like the Rey movie and there's a vision of Luke Skywalker and they just don't use Mark Hamill. Like, he's already old. Like, that's fine. Like, I don't get it.
I don't know.
As of right now, it's the same conclusion. It looks great. It's shot great. I think the dialogue has tanked.
I think everything has tanked.
I don't think the visuals have tanked.
Well, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
I think everything other than that has tanked. I think everything has. Now, I feel like, and I hope, that they have drug out this first half of the show to where the second half is unbelievable.
Because I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, they were talking about how this season was supposed to be more action-packed, and we haven't gotten that fucking at all.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't remember hearing about that. I just think they've really set up this season to explode at the end, which is fine, but, like, dude, like, this is a rough start to this show. Like we talked about in the last one, because I watched it, like, fairly recently. You got the first third, the middle third, and the back third. I thought the first third and the back third were really good. The middle third I didn't really care about, but I understood. It was season 1. You needed
Which part was the middle that you didn't care about?
It's not that I didn't care about it. It was just long because it was story developing. It was when Cassian was pretending to be somebody for the job. I can't even remember what his name was. When he met the one girl for the first time and, like, the start of the rebellion and shit.
Oh, I thought you meant I thought you were talking about the part where he was in the prison. I'm like, no, I really liked the prison stuff.
Even though I did see somebody talk, I don't even know who was talking about it, to be honest, but it was a podcast talking about how the prison stuff took forever.
Yeah, but you're supposed to feel like you're in prison. I get why that was drug out.
Oh, I'm not mad about it, but I kind of, like, I see where they were coming from, but I see why it was that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this season, I just feel like it's being drug. And I low-key feel like the next 3 are also going to be drug just to save the last 3 for something incredible. But it's like you're losing people getting here really bad at a rapid rate because I feel like the story is starting to get all over the place. I don't even know. I don't even know what else to say.
I'm not having that much fun watching it.
No.
And I don't know if it's... I don't know. Like, I would love to hear someone who's been really enjoying it and tell me why they're enjoying it a lot. But at this point, I think every single thing that they've done has been like, we're going to show you this part of Star Wars. And in theory, it sounds awesome. And then they do a bunch of stuff that we do. And I'm like, okay, what? This isn't like they have this wedding and, like, the whole intricacy of the wedding is an amazing idea. And then we have a disco ball. Why do we have that? Like there's just been little things, like, every time that something happens and I'm like, why is this in here?
Like I said, I said weeks ago, it was in the last trailer episode we did, I think I'm going to like this season more than season 1, and I'm really doubting that. I feel like it's...
And low-key, I think it's really because... The Imperial... So there's the man and woman that are, like, dating, married. First off, the whole scene with the... Turn the lights off.
It was like...
Turn the lights off. I was like... okay. But okay, so with those two, I hate both of them. The guy that's in charge of them, who's running the secret op mission, I like him though, but he was also in Game of Thrones, which is maybe the reason that I like him. Yeah. But I like how he's running this like secretive, don't tell anybody. That part's interesting.
I don't care.
Him actually doing it, I don't care. Because I feel like I don't understand the goal of the silk shit. Are they trying to steal the silk? And maybe like we missed something that they were talking about.
They are. They're not going after the silk. It's something like underground.
They're trying to make them start a rebellion to where they can like destroy it. Because they want to take over that planet, and it's big. I'm assuming it's because they're rich and stuff like that. But like, like for example, like the main dude. I don't know why I'm terrible with names. Cyril, yeah, is counting spiders. That's what he's doing.
Well, he doesn't know what's going on.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. He doesn't know what is going on. But their job in that room is to count spiders. And then he's playing this weird double agent where the umpire's telling him to steal from the Empire. They're investigating him stealing, but then they're letting him steal. But then they're not actually telling him why he's stealing. It's I don't know. Maybe it'll all come around. We still have a half a season. But at the moment, like, nothing to me is, like, the greatness that people are that we've been with from the first season is just not there.
Not at all.
And I take that, and when Cassian's on screen, it is.
And I'm not.
And when Luthen's on screen.
I mean, I'm not saying, and I think you're not saying either, that the show can't be good. Because it can. But this like part where we're at is like you've wasted a half a season almost. And I feel like also like with how they're jumping time, I would rather have them made a season 3.
Yeah.
Than just jump around like they're doing.
It's so split because I legit think like the more I'm thinking about what I'm mad about, I think I just really hate the two people who are in the Empire because the more I keep thinking, I'm like, oh, I actually like I thought the Senate stuff was interesting, how they're having all these new senators come in and they're doing all these parties and they got to fake around like they're not going to these parties to like put listening devices in people's houses.
All the stuff that has to do with starting the rebellion is what I like. Everything else, don't care about at all.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with the two people in the Empire. I didn't like it in the first season. And then now, like, dude, a good chunk of the last, like, couple episodes has been, like, how this guy seems miserable and how his girlfriend has no emotions whatsoever. And then there's the scene where he, like, belly flop face plants onto his bed because his mom is talking to him.
Well, no, what's funny
his mom has been in every fucking episode.
You know what's funny about the bed scene? I sent you the video. I don't know if you watched it. The bed scene wasn't actually supposed to be in the shot. When they like zoomed out on the shot, they just happened to have him laying on the bed. Like,
and then, but that's the thing is, why did you keep that in?
I don't know. I thought it was funny. And then I thought it was funny with the way the actors were talking about it. They thought it was hilarious.
By the way, yeah, they're doing interviews with the actors. And that guy has a beard in interviews. He looks a lot better with a beard.
Oh, yeah, he looks good.
I know this is so off topic.
Well, I understand why he's clean shaved. Because
yeah,
it's like the Empire and all this. But I'm like, dude, he looks pretty good with a beard.
But yeah, dude, like they're so, like every time they get on screen, I'm like, oh my God. And honestly, I don't necessarily like the two female agents that work for Luthen. I like the one who works in his office with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't necessarily like the two agents that work for him. They were in the first season as well. You know what I'm talking about?
The lovers?
Yeah. They're whatever, but then they just killed one, so like that kind of sounds like a piece of shit. But
I knew one of them was gonna die. They had that like I don't remember what they said exactly, but they had like a little piece of dialogue between the two of them. I was like, one of them's gonna die. There's no way.
They've done that twice now, where you know I knew the person was gonna die.
What I also hate is also going back to the time jump thing. Like we just had these 3 episodes, went nowhere. We're jumping another year now.
Yeah, it jumped a year again.
Like
I thought it was weird when they jumped a year in the first season because they jumped that year with Cassian and he's just on that like ocean planet or whatever, or the water beach planet.
Yeah.
And then immediately gets arrested. And I was like, all right, why did he get it? Like, legitimately, the only time he's been arrested has been like, oh, he didn't do something wrong for once is when he got arrested.
Right.
Like
if you actually knew what he's been doing,
Yeah.
be arrested for a lot longer than he was.
Yeah, and then like he's running this bit right now with Bix where he's so worried about Bix, and I get it. I understand that part. But like Luthen doesn't give a shit. And then
Yeah, but I understand why he doesn't.
but no, so like he went I get it, but he goes to this planet and he like goes as an informant, gives a legitimate like I don't think they're ready. And then Luthen's pissed off. And I'm like, "What?" And clearly they weren't. Someone got shot. So, yeah.
I think that's it. I mean,
Yeah,
there ain't much to talk about. Like, there's not. Without us just sitting here, just like, come on.
I think upcoming, like obviously Saul Guerrero is gonna have another episode or two. I would like to see Mon Mothma like start to split more, and here's the other thing. Everyone has to die or not be important enough that it's the end. So where does Luthen go? Where does... Like, we know where Mon Mothma goes. We know what happens with Saul Guerrero. We know what happens with Cassian.
Where does Bix go?
I kind of have a theory that Luthen might kill Bix.
If Lutheran kills Bix, then I think Cassian kills Lutheran.
Just from the way he talks about her and talks to her, he sees her as a liability. But I don't know. But yeah, so we're gonna transition. And we're back. So as you can see, we have a cake in front of us. So we're kind of celebrating a couple things. Celebrate a couple things. Obviously, we have a guest, kind of. Guest? There's a guy here.
Hello, New York.
So we're celebrating a couple things. One, this is technically the 53rd episode, but it is a year to date of us doing the podcast.
Off by one day.
Technically,
Technically.
we're a day early. So we're celebrating 1 year of the podcast, which means we're also celebrating Star Wars Day. And also, we're celebrating his birthday. So, yeah, so the rest of this podcast is going to be interesting. We're going to be eating cake. We're going to be those pieces of shit. I'm going to take this centerpiece off. It's a little Grogu. Oh, there's like a thing in the middle. You can see. Yeah, so we're kind of celebrating a couple things, and we're going to be talking about stuff that's going to be happening, going on, whatsoever, and kind of just...
Reminisce a little.
Yeah, kind of anything that happens. So, yeah, you guys can talk.
Should have got like an actual knife.
Yeah.
This cake looks fake.
It does look fake.
It looks so nice, didn't it?
Yeah, it looks really nice, but it looks like a prop.
I don't...
This is so weird.
That's a thick ass piece.
Well, the first piece is going to the birthday boy, so have fun.
Jesus.
Aww.
Yeah.
You're going to have to grab this plate.
Brought it.
Holy shit.
Talked about it on the podcast before.
Look how good that slice is. I was going to flip it sideways.
It's enough
but-
slices. Yeah.
Okay, move your thumb.
Scaring me.
First piece down.
Woo! Yeah, so
Got that all over the table.
So this episode
Aw.
is going to come out on my birthday, the day before Star Wars Day.
How big of a slice do you want?
Not that fucking big.
I don't even want a piece this big.
You're the birthday boy. You're not drinking, you gotta eat.
Oh, dude, this cake is now, like, the icing sticking, so...
Oh, it got me doing a little fucking mohawk flip. What's this?
I should have just made you grab your own piece.
Yeah, I'm the birthday
I can take
boy
that.
too.
I can take this one if you want.
Nah, it's okay. I'm already here.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Dude, you're giving me half the fucking cake.
sorry, guys. My depth perception obviously wasn't that great while cutting a cake.
It's gonna be like a mukbang type of thing, I guess.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I kind of want to also talk. They just re-released Revenge of the Sith to the theaters.
Oh,
All
dude.
three of us went. I actually saw it twice. It was better on screen.
Dude, it was
Obviously, we've never got to see it.
it was
Oh, shit.
it was an unreal experience. Like
It was
I
incredible.
leaned over we had a big group go with us. We almost took up an entire aisle of seats, and I leaned over to my girlfriend and I was like, Star Wars was meant to be on the big screen. It was.
Oh, you're
Like,
so corny.
Dude, but it was.
It's cinematic.
It is, and it's like it's so good. If you haven't seen it, I don't think it'll be. I guess I don't know if it'll still be out by the
I don't
time this
think so.
episode airs. But if you missed it, and they ever do this again, you got to go watch it.
For like
Yeah,
20,
and
25.
It
Especially
was
if
the
you've never
biggest
seen it.
theatrical re-release ever. It made like $50 million.
It was almost the most not sold. It had almost had the most sales like for tickets wise out of all movies in general for that week.
Yeah, it was second.
I think it was beat by Sinners.
That was the only one, and
Yeah.
that's probably going to win movie of the year. So
Yeah, I've seen clips. Seems pretty crazy.
yeah, so
Yeah, it was so beautiful, and a movie that came out in 2005 that looks better than most movies that come out today.
and another thing is, so there was obviously like a lot of people who went, and I feel like there is a lot of newer Star Wars fans or fringe Star Wars fans that went because they were like, all right, this is a big thing. The amount of media I have seen talking about how people were like, oh, this movie's better than I remember, or this movie is really good. I wish I got to see it when it first came out, or people talking about how the lightsabers look better and the lightsaber fucking choreography looks better. The things we've been talking about. So
Okay.
like, I really hope they keep doing these. Obviously did we miss the second movie? They'll probably do a 25th anniversary for it.
I was confused because you guys saw the first one.
And then they did,
Because that was the 25th.
yeah.
Oh.
We got caught in between movies, so
Yeah.
when they did the 25th for that one, it was like a year late for the 20th anniversary
Do you think
of the second one.
Do you think they'll do a 10-year of
Force Awakens.
Force
That
Awakens?
already happened, right? Did it?
No, it would be this December,
Oh,
I think.
I thought it came out in 2017.
Force
it's 15.
Awakens.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking
That's the Last Jedi.
the last. Yeah,
You think they'll do it?
Probably not. They'll probably do a 20. Like
I don't know.
10's too soon.
would you go watch it if they come back out with it?
No.
So that probably is their response to that as well. It's actually pretty good.
It is pretty good.
I haven't had this much sugar in a long time. I'm like shaking.
I know it's so intense. So much.
Yeah, so I know a couple. How long ago was that now that I made that one video? 2 months ago now?
Yeah.
3 months ago?
It was like 10 episodes ago or something like that.
Yeah, so I kind of talked about stuff that we were going to start doing or maybe going over. And now that it's been a year, we've kind of been talking about it a little bit more. We've had a lot of ups and downs this year. Some people getting sick, maybe 3 to 5 to 8 times. A surgery or two. School, life, work, things. Someone moved out. Just doing a lot of stuff. I can say for the three of us, definitely, we're wanting the content to be ready. We're getting close. Don't have an exact date or day yet, but we're definitely been working on the content. I think you guys have seen it. Like, I'm wearing a hat right now. We have made some merch, I guess. And we're still trying to figure out if we want to release that and or make that available to people. Kind of would love for people to comment if they want it to be available to where we could work on it a little bit more and have like an actual thing set up. And then if there's actually any specific items that you guys will want, like specific like shirt colors, types, hoodies, jackets, like that'd be nice to know as well. And that reminds me, I completely forgot another big thing. If someone else want to announce this or not?
What?
With the YouTube channel?
Oh, yeah. We hit 1,000 subscribers, baby.
Yeah,
Out of nowhere.
it was out of nowhere very quickly.
I wonder if Star Wars Celebration had something to do with that. Like, you know, the idea of everybody talking about Star Wars, it was a big thing for a week. I wonder if that just jolted people. Into,
Algorithm just really liked us that week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the title of this video is probably going to be like the 1 year anniversary and the 1,000 sub celebration or some shit like that. But yeah, that was out of nowhere. And we jumped pretty quickly, and it was awesome to see. And just nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can't thank you guys enough for that. Not saying that we don't do this because like we'd love for it to be a career, but we also do it just because it's fun. And we basically been doing this for the last 10 years without recording it. So like
Yeah, like we talked about it. Like before we started this, it was just getting to a point where Ahsoka was a heavy hitter at that time, and it was like all these theories were coming about, and like we were having so many discussions, even more than normal. And then obviously like Star Wars has plans for the future for a long time, and it's like we have endless content. We already have these conversations. Let's turn it on. Let's hear what people want to say about our conversations. Hear what their input is and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like I'm not someone who likes to look at views, likes. I do occasionally listen to comments that people leave through him and stuff, but
So keep commenting. We like it. It's funny.
yeah, some people are fucking hilarious. So
I mean, dude, like say whatever you want. Like everybody's opinion matters.
Yeah, you got an opinion? Say it.
Yeah, like
Wanna hear
if you don't agree with us, you agree with us, say it. Say what you want to say. You can comment that on our videos. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to say you're probably confused on who the fuck I even am, to be honest, because you hear it's
you've
like
been on something before.
yeah, twice, but it's like we haven't
He's
really,
the guy we refer to over there when we point all the time.
Yeah, but it's like this is like the 1 year anniversary episode. And it's like the 1,000 sub celebration episode, and like I'm just on here for some reason. But like I'm the guy that edits all the YouTube videos and shit like that, and all the graphics and all that shit. So seeing it go from nothing to 1,000 subs is just it's nice. Even though I'm not the one behind the camera talking about Star Wars and shit like that. And I mean I like Star Wars, but I'm not super into it. But just like he was saying, we've been doing this for a long time, not really posting it and not being consistent and shit like that. Like I've been messing around with content and YouTube and all that shit for probably since I was, I don't know, 11, 12, maybe posting like on YouTube and shit like that.
Fortnite clips.
Yeah, dude. Back when Fortnite was big.
I remember I got like 10 fucking views one time, and I thought I was like, I'm the most famous person I know.
Yeah, I know. I posted like a Fortnite mixtape during like season 4, and I got like 200 views, and I was like, holy shit. But yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So when they came to me and talked about making a podcast about Star Wars, and I was like, dude, I'm all for it. Let me do all the fucking background work for you guys, and just want to create. And it's just awesome to see that growth. Like I saw that, and I texted our little group chat for our YouTube shit, and I was like, dude, get the fucking Discord and look at my screen right now, because I saw that and I was like, what happened, dude? I was so confused, but
Yeah.
I was so happy. Even though I'm not the one behind the camera, it was just so awesome to see. It's like something that I've like edited and like posted, get views and subs and shit like that. It's just awesome to see.
Yeah, and like I can't even like explain how much like we appreciate you guys with that, because like we're just a bunch of like goofballs who just record shit, like spewing opinions, screaming, like some of us talking quietly into a mic and getting bullied for it. No, and it's just been like it's been like a very like I feel like we've been doing this for 2 days, but also 10 years. So
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't feel like it's been a year.
it doesn't feel like it's been a year, but at the same time, like every week it feels like, oh my god, dude, like we gotta record again. But like
Yeah.
at the same time, like it doesn't feel like that because we get done recording and I'm like, we could keep talking, can't we? Like it's like this is legitimately just fun, and like I fully get why people do it, and then I also feel that like you guys made it happen, but like that runner's high of like being like people care, like
Yeah, dude,
people are
seeing that-
commenting, people are that was also an inside joke, but the
What?
runner's high.
I was about to say,
yeah.
you know what a runner's high feels like?
You've ran before?
Hey,
But yeah,
I played sports.
he's right though. It was just such a like a I don't know euphoric feeling seeing that jump, because like I've been posting shit for a long time, but I've never gotten 1,000 subscribers, and like that's a lot of people when you think about it. Like
Yeah.
it's not like a million, but when you think about 1,000 people, like think about 1,000 people in a room, like that'd be so many fucking people.
Yeah, think about it in this room. We should invite all 1,000 people.
Come on, get on the episode.
Couldn't fit in yours.
Yeah, they definitely wouldn't fit in there. But yeah, I mean, as he mentioned earlier that we're gonna be posting a lot more content on different channels and shit like that with like just more fun videos. We've actually recorded a good amount of them, and I've been in the process of editing them all. And yeah, we're just really excited to get the ball rolling and
Not just Star Wars.
Yeah, not just Star Wars. A bunch of other cool shit and
Yeah,
media-wise and sports.
If you guys think we're... I was going to say something probably can't say. If you guys think we're fucking dumb right now, you're going to see a whole nother side of dumb.
Yeah, we've got opinions about everything. So
Yeah, so this doesn't stop at things I like. I give opinions on things I don't like, too. So... Yeah, yeah, it's been strange, honestly. Like, because like none of us really have experience in front of a camera, other than like the off-putting like YouTube videos or like I'm pretty sure you might have been on TV one time. I know I was on TV once for like school shit.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we've been in rooms where we've had to give presentations for class and shit like that. But this is like different because you're in your own little world talking, but like you also got to remember like we're talking to 1,000 people. And like
yeah.
It's crazy, and it's like like not every video gets comments, but like I love like the fact that people comment because obviously like I've seen comments where it's been like great video, and those are super exciting, but the ones that are like, you guys are fucking idiots. I
love those too.
Like,
yeah.
Because like I love it, or like I know there was a comment a while back, and it was a video that went, I would use the term viral. Nope.
Yeah, not viral.
We had a video do
for us.
very well for us on TikTok, and like we were talking about the Clone Wars and how much we enjoy it and how we think it's so like quintessential to Star Wars, and people were like agreeing, and I was like, oh my god, there's people out there that like think the way I do. It's awesome. And like there was like a one specific comment I remember you telling me about that was like some account I posted like, finally somebody's talking about like the Clone Wars and actually like it's so like, yeah, I can't remember the exact comment, but it was like finally someone has like a good top 10 of like Star Wars like
yeah.
I don't even remember what the list was. I think it was just all projects. But
We were talking about the Clone Wars being the best piece of Star Wars.
yeah,
And it's the Clone Wars is so crucial to Star Wars that people don't realize. People haven't seen it. Oh, it's a kid show. No, it's not.
and like
Go watch it.
And he makes it sound mean, but like it's we don't mean it in the way that we're like, if you don't watch it, you're not a Star Wars fan. But at the same time, like if you are a Star Wars fan, I don't know why you wouldn't watch it, because it really is that good. Like there's a guy I work with that I keep trying to convince to watch it, but I feel like the consensus is that there's a lot of people who get out of it in the first season, and it is because it is more gauged at like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel kids, and then it's really not very quickly. So like it's fantastic. But yeah, we, like I was saying though, like that video did really well, and we've had some others do really well, and like we almost like update each other per day of like when something starts to like go off, because we're just so excited about it. And
Yeah.
we really think like pushing our limits and the company like pushing outward and growing is really gonna help us. But yeah, like I said, like we still don't have a timeline, but
We're getting close.
we're getting close.
We're getting close. I'll say that.
And like I don't want to say by the end of the year, but I'm really hoping by the end of the year for sure
For what?
to start posting content.
Oh, way before that.
I just don't want to give them a date and like something like a camera explodes or like one of us gets sick one more fucking time.
As long as a disaster doesn't happen, I would say give it a couple months, and we'll be ready to get the ball rolling.
And like we're gonna be those pieces of shit where we're gonna like, I guess, start plugging other things to watch. Not as bad as other people do, but like
Yeah.
we're starting these channels, and we like, if you like this content, we want you to see other content that, I don't know, maybe you are a Star Wars fan but you're more of a Marvel fan. We have videos that are about Marvel.
Yeah, we've
So,
we've
like,
talked about that
We're
too.
fans of other things, guys, but
Trust me.
not that the Star Wars videos are going to stop or ever going to stop, because this is still going to keep kicking, and there's going to be other videos that are about Star Wars as well. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look forward to those ones being a lot shorter than these ones.
Yeah, these will be YouTube videos.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
15-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute.
Like what we do
videos.
right now is a complete discussion over whatever the topic is of Star Wars, because you can dive deep into the lore and all this other shit that involves in Star Wars. I mean, you could with other stuff too, but like that's what our complete niche is. Doesn't mean we don't like other things like we've talked about, but like, yeah, those videos are going to be a lot shorter. So we will have probably some Star Wars videos within that.
And throwing it out there, there may be another podcast coming too.
Or two.
Or two.
Or two.
So, as much as there are going to be these little videos where we're going to talk about everything Star Wars, media-based, playing games, doing taste testing videos, there might be more podcast stuff too.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of shit's in the works, and we've been talking about it for a long time, and we're getting pretty close to rolling these things out.
yeah, and I almost made a terrible joke. I was like,
What?
we're creating an empire here. No.
The Empire.
Yeah, the Empire. Should have like theme music. Just the Imperial March like, added right there. No.
What'd you say? Empire.
Yeah, and this is another thing that I don't know if I've ever said on here, but I think we might have, and I know I've talked about him. Like, we were just talking about comments and, like, how much we like reading them. Like, if you guys have suggestions for videos, or you want to hear us talk about something, or even if you think it's like a question like, well, I don't want them to have to explain to me who Ahsoka is, we're very willing to go on here and have a 2-hour episode talking about Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Or talking about, like, this story arc, and if you don't understand something, asking. I know he's definitely asked questions sometimes to us, and, like, I have some other friends that have asked questions, or I've had a friend ask, like, where should we start in Star Wars, and that became a 2-hour conversation, and I think I scared him away. But, yeah,
It is intimidating.
yeah,
There's a lot.
It's, yeah.
I feel like we've only cracked the surface.
Yeah. Cracked
We're
is strong. I think
53 episodes in.
We
Yeah,
we
dude.
just touched it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like we just hit the 1,000 subscribers, and what's crazier too is we haven't, with shorts and videos, haven't even got to 100 videos yet.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, we're
So-
close, but we haven't got there yet.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like so obviously the channel that you guys are watching is Mind Trick Media. That's what it's on Instagram and, you know, TikTok and stuff like that, where we post like short clips. I know some people don't like listening to podcasts, and that's kind of why we've wanted to expand, because there are people who just don't like podcasts, but
Yeah.
quick 10, 15, 20-minute videos is something that you like. Those definitely might be coming, so.
They definitely are coming.
Yeah. It might be wasn't the right word.
Yeah.
They're coming. So
Yeah, and then, like, one thing that I like, so that's the other thing, like, I know I'm actually wearing, like, a Revenge of the Sith shirt right now. He's wearing a Star Wars shirt.
You can see why they're on the podcast and I'm not.
I'm wearing, like, a hat that we custom made. Like, I kind of really do want to set up, and, like, it's one of those things that, like, I don't necessarily want to put it out if people don't want it, but, like, the merch stuff that we have, like, what we have is fucking awesome. I love the material that it's made out of, and the colors and logos are really cool. So, definitely if you guys want that out, like, we'll work on it to get it out quicker, too. So, how was the cake?
Very sugary.
Yeah,
But good.
I realized I cut way too big of pieces
Yeah,
for how
there's
sugary
no
it is.
chance I'm finishing that, dude.
Yeah.
Teeth are gonna fall out.
Yeah. We didn't really have a plan for how this was gonna go. We kind of just were like, we're gonna have cake.
I had no idea what was going to happen. Literally no clue. I was like, I know there's a cake and
Should
that's
we
it.
sing Happy Birthday? I feel like it's necessary.
No.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
We'll sing Happy Birthday how Padme would sing it to Anakin. Ready? No.
How the fuck would that be?
I have no fucking clue.
I thought you were gonna do like the John F. Kennedy
No.
Marilyn
You
Monroe
gotta
thing.
say it like how Yoda would say it.
Birthday is happy to you.
You are happy on your birthday.
That's funny.
You is to be happy on your birthday. I cannot do a Yoda voice if you couldn't tell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
clearly
you were
not.
kind of getting close to Jar Jar there.
Yeah, like, They kind of talk similar.
Yeah.
Not really.
Like, they talk in weird circles, for sure. Like, they
Yeah.
don't sound the same, but they talk similar.
Well, Jar just has like it's like he has an accent, but it's not even an accent. It's just how he talks.
Yeah, it's like kind of Star Wars Jamaican, but
Yeah, kinda, a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's cool to be on here. I'm never really on here, so it's kind of cool. But
behind the camera. Well,
I know,
in front of the camera.
in front of the camera, I'm always behind the camera.
I think you said earlier, like I think he's like it's different to be like behind the camera, and I'm like, did he mean like in front of the camera? Because you were on here. And I was
Did
like,
I say that?
maybe. I don't know.
I
Like,
don't know.
because like we're technically, depending on what way you're looking at the camera, we could be behind the camera.
Yeah, from my point of view, when I'm
Yeah.
producing it, yeah. But yeah, it's just I don't know. This is something I've always wanted to do for a very long time, and it's just nice to see it. It like I've been editing these videos for a fucking year now, so just seeing that it's growing is nice. I mean, I wanted to continue. I mean, when they brought it up to me, I honestly didn't have faith that it was going to be consistent at all. Like, because I had done shit like this for a long time, and I know how hard it is to stay consistent. But I feel like us being like together as a trio doing this shit, it makes it a lot easier to hold each other like accountable to continue to be consistent with this shit.
Yeah, we fight and argue a lot.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys know this, but I guess for anybody that doesn't know this, the statistics for like a podcast, like making it past the first episode, 99% of podcasts don't make it past the first episode.
That was I was really about to bring this up. This guy that me and him listen to a lot. I know you listen to him too, but this guy who talked about like he was giving advice on like how to grow a podcast, how to start a podcast, and he was like, the reality of things is you most likely won't do it, and after the first month, you most likely won't even continue to do it because it is a lot more work than people really realize, and so just seeing that a whole year of work and it's amounting to something is just it's just nice to see. I don't know. It's just cool.
Trying to make us cry on here. That's what's gonna happen.
It's just fucking sweet that
Yeah, I've had discussions with like, I would say a little bit older people. A little bit, some older people in my life that don't really understand social media, and it's like, they're like, how's it going? Because they like know I'm doing it.
We don't
and I'm
know
like,
either.
Like, I don't know, but it's like,
it's going.
I had a discussion with somebody the other day, and I was just like, it's so much more work than you would ever anticipate
You're telling me
that this is. Like, even posting the clips.
Yeah.
The clips, the little 1 minute clips are a
And-
bitch and a half to
And like
do.
I've made jokes, and like there's been times where like I've talked about an episode, or there's things that you guys don't see where like there's been some times where we've had to cancel on each other, something happens, this happens, like just setting a schedule and be like, all right, show up at 1, and just getting like, not saying that we're like super bad about it, but like just getting 3 people to show up at like a specific time on the specific day. That part's hard. So I understand why people, even from a scheduling
Yeah,
aspect,
I mean, dude, people got lives.
and then behind the scenes, you then have to edit a 2-hour video because of chop up and all this other shit. Then you gotta get all the shit ready to post it, and then you have to add the mic feed. Then we send it over, and then someone fucking makes clips out of it, and then someone has to post those clips. You have to be on schedule to post those. They need to be posted at the same time all the time. You gotta have a place to record the fucking thing. There's so
dude,
much
there's just-
more into podcasting.
And it also doesn't help. The equipment ain't fucking cheap.
That was the next thing I was gonna say. If this is not one of them, like, we kind of all played sports our whole life. Sports are expensive. This shit's fucking expensive.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm not here to. I mean, it would be nice, but I'm not doing this because I want to make money. But like, I just genuinely enjoy doing this. So like, that's why I was so willing to put the money into this, because I wanted to see this become a thing, and it's cool to see it becoming a real thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really is a lot more work than people really understand, and that's why it's just like such a surreal feeling to see it growing at all in general. Even if for most people, be like, oh, it's just 1,000, whatever. That's not that much. People got millions and 10 million and fucking 100 million. Like that's a lot. But like, dude, 1,000 to when going from just making videos like as a kid to posting them and getting fucking no views at all, to then now I'm 21 and like I'm putting all this effort into making shit, and like I've put money into it, and like we've all I put so much work and effort into doing this shit, and it's just nice to realize that the effort's not for nothing. It's just cool to see.
Yeah.
Also, one thing we didn't talk about is the preparation for just an individual episode itself.
Oh, dude.
Like, there's a reason, like, we talked about, like, I had a surgery at one point, and it took me out for a hot minute. And we had a bunch of episodes where they were, like, online, and they were very, like, all right, there was a couple episodes that looked underprepared. And there was.
Yeah.
There was a lot of episodes.
Because they were underprepared.
It took me out for a minute, and the fact that we posted every day, I only missed the one episode.
Yeah.
It was the one episode you posted. That was the only episode I missed.
And that was after
I
surgery.
tried so hard to be involved in every single episode, and it's rough. Because it's like, all right, like we did a couple book episodes. We haven't done another book episode because that is so much effort than what you guys like possibly can imagine. That it's really hard.
And like they make fun of me because like I'm super intricate with those videos, but it's just because like the problem with it is like obviously like a lot of people haven't read the Star Wars books, and they can be very important at times. So like obviously I want to write down the things that are like, oh, Obi-Wan did this and he did that, but then there's also times where it's like, okay, well this dude said this and this means this later on, so like I gotta write that down, and then they make jokes that I wrote the whole book again.
Yeah, he essentially writes more than the book.
That's a lie.
One episode, the Master and Apprentice book, I didn't take notes for that. I was dealing with all the shit I was dealing with, and I was like, Tyler, just do the notes, it'll be okay. We take notes completely differently. And I looked at that shit and I was like, oh my god, I'm rereading the book.
Okay, it's like a 14-hour book.
Yeah.
And I wrote like 4 pages of notes.
Yeah.
Not an insane amount.
I feel like it was more than that. You were scrolling for quite a while.
Nah, it wasn't that.
You literally went like this.
It was that.
It was on a phone though, like on a Google Doc. It was like, or a Word doc. It was
I
on
don't
like
know.
4 pages.
I don't know.
But
We're hoping to get some more of those videos out to you guys. Like, there's a couple books that are coming out this year. There's a Darth Vader novel that's coming out, and then there's a Bad Batch novel that's coming out. I really want to cover those two, for sure.
I didn't even know about the Bad Batch one.
Yeah, I think it takes place during season 2.
Really?
I think. But yeah, it's a Bad Batch book that's coming out. So there's 2 books that are coming out this year that I'm aware of, and I want to cover both of them. But yeah, those episodes are rough. They're really rough to sit down and actually do.
Yeah, like
You got to listen. You either got to read or listen. I don't really have time to read, so I usually listen to the books. And dude, like listening, taking notes, it's still hard.
Yeah,
Like-
and that's the other part. Like, I never want to do it and like it be bad. So
Right.
I don't want to take bad notes either and say something that's wrong or not give you guys like at least on our end
the
like,
complete
good,
idea.
good content. Like and that's the other thing. I don't want to make shit content. So
yeah, me either.
and like yeah, there are times that we've definitely came in and been like, guys, what are we doing today? And it's like. And then other times we've had videos prepared 4 weeks in advance. So
Yeah, like this one.
yeah, this honestly took some planning. Obviously, there's a fucking cake in here. So
We got fucking Grogu napkins.
yeah, there was definitely some different levels to this episode. We had to plan out him coming on. He had to dress appropriate.
We didn't want to miss Andor.
Yeah,
Didn't wanna miss
Andor, and that was Andor was in the dead middle of that.
Yeah, we
so-
were like stressing about the
also,
schedule.
You know what else is stressful that's coming up this next week is we have Andor and Tales of the Underworld.
Yeah.
That's a rough. I don't know if it's just going to be a 4-hour episode where it's like we sit here forever and talk about it all, but
yeah, content's coming, guys.
yeah.
Plenty of shit.
So, I don't know. We may or may not be late on Tales of the Underworld because I want to cover Andor, but we'll have to figure it out.
And this is something I want to say, like, so I would say that, like, I talk a lot. So, like, and I'm kind of, like, obnoxious a lot. But one thing I want to say, too, is that, like, what people also don't understand about a podcast, and we've kind of noticed this with some people that have been behind the camera with us or been a part of a video that we've recorded that's not out yet. Like, it is an adjustment to be behind a camera and have a mic in your hand.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say immediately, like, I'm an obnoxious person who was really ready to do this and don't care. I also want to say that, like, you've gotten so much better behind a camera.
Yeah, you really have, dude.
And, like just seeing, like, TikTok clips that we post and, like, watching them on my own feed and just seeing, like, oh, this was an early on video. And it's like, oh, we looked like stick figures who were being like, so today we're talking about this, to where now we're like, there's videos of you crying, laughing, and like us screaming about something, and like just like having like, I don't know a better way to put it than like gaining an identity behind the camera or front of the camera is whatever way it goes. And
It's
just,
weird.
Yeah,
It's
like,
definitely weird.
Like I know there's like the dead air, they call it on like radio, and then like the dead podcast air. That is legit a thing. Like there's definitely been like, fuck, I gotta say something.
It hasn't happened for a while, but
It hasn't happened for a while.
there was definitely times in the
yeah.
beginning where I had to like cut. You might have noticed in episodes, but I had to like cut out because they wouldn't talk for like 15, 20 seconds. Because it is hard to be animated and like talk for an hour and a half fucking
And like
straight.
what we got caught with it a lot was when we were doing book episodes, because there's times where like I lost my place and we had to figure something out, or we were looking something up and like something like just to get the correct information, and like there are times where you're like, fuck, say something, say something,
and then you panic and it's longer. It's like,
You're like, I'm
longer.
Now,
I'm
now
really
you're thinking
lost.
about that. You're panicking.
Yeah.
And you're not thinking about what you need to say. But yeah, like it's definitely hard to like get comfortable behind the camera and like not really think about the fact that you're on camera, but just like the fact you have to like animate more and be more vocal and be more clear and all that shit.
Yeah, and like there's definitely like like we said earlier, there's millions of podcasts, like, and that's the thing. I don't want to be on here and it be like, okay, today guys, we're talking about Andor. I want it to be. I want you guys to know our personalities like in a normal like conversation. And
It took a long time, but I feel like when we started, there was like a lot of the time where we weren't ourselves. We were playing a part,
yeah,
and now we are ourselves. And I feel like the content's a lot better. It's a lot more fluid.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because I still remember the first episode we did, like when we first came here to record and everything. And I remember being behind the camera as, at that point, I was the only person that had ever done content shit before. So, like, I had understood, like, it's kind of a little awkward and, like, kind of uncomfortable when you first start doing it. And, like, I had streamed before and, like, been behind the camera by myself, completely by myself. And it's so fucking awkward, I'm not going to lie, trying to, like, be animated. And you're essentially talking to yourself. But even when you have another person there, it's still awkward because you're kind of trying to put on a performance a little bit. So I remember the first episode coming in here and like setting everything up, and they were behind the camera, and it took them so long,
Dude, it was like 2
to
hours.
do an episode to
It was
start
like-
the intro.
Okay, to
2
be fair,
hours to
the
start
whole
that.
first episode was a wash to begin with.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, if you guys have seen it,
We can kind of explain that now.
not only have we grown, he has also grown.
Yeah, that episode was the first time I was ever using any of this equipment. So like, I kind of fucked up the audio a little bit because I didn't understand there was separate tracks for the mics. So in that first episode, if he sounds like you can't hear him at all and he sounds regular, it's because his mic wasn't even in the video. It was just his mic.
So this is what I was saying earlier. I get bullied every single week because there's a part of
It's
one
like every other week.
Yeah, every other week. We
Oh,
didn't
my
do it
bad.
this week. We did it last week though.
yeah.
You made
So-
fun of yourself this week, actually.
Yeah, you brought it up.
Yeah. Can I get bullied enough? I might as well fit in. Boy myself.
I've got a hot take.
No, but that was the big thing, is that it's the I got a hot take, and then I whispered into the mic, which you could clearly hear if it was on the track.
Yeah, but his mic wasn't on.
But basically my mic wasn't on, and thank God it was my mic and not his, because there would have been no
Yeah, there would have
video.
been no audio.
Especially when we first started, it literally would have been like me screaming and him and me answering questions to nobody.
Yeah.
It's like, thank God his mic was picking me up, but
Yeah, it's just funny. So, like, I mean, I hope you can see the growth in content, like how much more comfortable we've been with like them behind the camera and like me with the editing software and all that shit and all that, just setting everything up. It just, I feel like we're at a part now where we're like really ready to start doing.
and that was
shit.
another thing. Like, I don't know when it changed, but like what we've said, we've gotten this. We're on our like third camera now, so the quality's gotten better. We've also, what was I gonna say? Shit.
I don't know. Not your head.
Remember that dead air I was just talking about?
Dead air, dead air, dead air.
Fuck. I was gonna say something about the camera being like there was something else that. Oh, and
Because there was a bunch of videos we recorded with a shitty camera. Is
well,
that
not
what
even
you're
just
talking about?
that, like, but also like our intro changed. I don't know if that was in the original video when we had like the hyperspace jump. I don't think that was in the original video. I think that was a little bit later on when you added
It might
that,
have been.
or maybe I don't know.
I think I did that pretty early on because I found the clip and I was like, this would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and then like I know we like there's just gonna be more stuff added to them because we're probably gonna add outro covers stuff.
Yeah, we have how many channels? We want to do 2 more podcasts. That'd be 3 podcasts, and then we have 2 separate YouTube channels outside of this. So I've been making intros and outros a lot. So like we've been getting the ball rolling a little bit as far as like that's concerned. But yeah, we're getting pretty close to starting to put things out. And I've made outros and intros and shit, and I hope you like the one we're doing for this one because I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff coming, and not even just from video aspect. There's other things that we've talked about that are also coming. That yeah, I don't want to say too much because I kind of want to be surprised, but there's definitely stuff coming, and we're excited. So we're hoping you guys are excited too and ready for more content.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get a good crossover of viewers. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. Yeah. I think that might be it, guys.
You want to end it here?
Maybe. You guys anything else to say? Yeah, just shout out to you guys for the viewership, the subscribing, and just, I don't want to say trusting in us, but like just liking
Investing
our content
in us,
and investing in like wanting to hear what we have to say and or not. You could also be mad at what we're saying. Like, I'm also cool with that. But yeah,
and just ask us things, guys. We can answer any questions you guys leave.
I want to almost open a forum and just have people drop shit into it.
We definitely read the comments, good and bad. Like we love all the comments because it's just nice to know people are watching, regardless of whether they disagree or agree. It's opinion based. So I mean, you're gonna have your opinion, but it's just cool to see when people comment and like they're taking their time out of their day to view our stuff and the stuff we create and comment on it and leave their opinions on it. It's just cool to see. So if you have an opinion on anything we do, please leave it. If it's bad opinion, good opinion, doesn't matter. Just leave it, whether you like us or not.
And it's not something that we also don't like actually pay attention to. Like, if you guys think something's wrong with something we do, like, we're gonna legit like think about it. Like,
yeah.
it's not like a leave it and thanks. Like, leave it and thank you, because like we're gonna look into it or think about it. Like, I know there was a comment left that was, I don't think it was necessarily, it was kind of negative about something we had said, and like me and Jordan had talked about it, and like me and him kind of like we were a little upset at the commenter because we didn't agree, but like it's not like he immediately brought it to me like, oh, we should like talk about this or something like that. So like there's definitely been like, we're using those. I don't know how to say that any other way, but
What do you mean?
Like we're using the feedback.
Yeah, of course. Good or bad, we take it into account. We're reading them all for a reason. But yeah, I mean, even though I'm not behind the camera, it's just as the person that's editing all this shit, and it's just awesome to see that you guys are liking it and like viewing it and all that. It's just cool to see, and we really appreciate it. And 1,000 subs is a lot more than most people even get to when they create content. Like that's a good amount of people. And I know I've had several channels that I've made throughout the years, and I've posted and created, and it's never got to this much. So just the fact that we've stayed this consistent for an entire year at this point, and in my opinion made good content. Like, I feel like what we do is pretty good over here, and like I like all the graphics and how our channels look and how the content ends up coming out, and I feel like we make good content, and I love doing it.
And that's another thing, like, as much as he does a lot of the editing work, like, we've had other people help us with logos and designs and stuff, and so shout out to them as well. I don't know if we're gonna say their names, but a lot of them are friends and stuff like that. So like there's more people than just this, so I want to like thank them as well. And some of them have been on here before. I think there might be some change in that in the next year, maybe some more like special visits and guests on the show. I know there's specifically one person who wants to come back on, and he may or may not be related to us, but I know he definitely wants to come back on and talk about something. So there's definitely going to be an array of content coming. So
camping.
Yeah, we're camping.
But yeah, it's just awesome to see.
Yeah,
as the person that edits, it's just cool to see that I'm not spending those hours on my computer editing the shit for no reason. Like, people do genuinely want to watch, and yeah, it's just cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like the coolest. We were like the coolest people in our friend group for a little bit.
Yeah, I know. For a split second, they're like, "Oh, that's awesome." Back to normal.
Yeah. You guys have anything else though? Just we did this last time when I was over done. Just shout out to you guys. Thanks so much. It's been an incredible year. Hopefully we have another.
Can I do it because I'm never on here?
No,
No,
go
fuck
ahead.
you,
Go
no.
ahead. Go ahead.
It's been Mind Trick Media, guys. See you next time.